Mike? All right, test Mike. Praise the Lord and very blessed Lord's Day po sa ating mga kapatid at sa ating mga bisita. What a joyful day it is for all of us. And before we start our worship service, it is our customs na mag-ano muna tayo, mag-Bible class mga kapatid. And somebody requested this topic na once na ituro ko na din siya sa isang conference doon kina Pastor Willie. And then I was asked by one of our brethren na kumari ituro din natin dito sa Trinity Bible Church. But before that, can I ask an assistance from our technical team to come in front? Meron lang po akong ipaano. Wait. Thank you very much. I-check lang po natin yung slider natin. There you go. Alright, so ang topic po natin ngayon mga kapatid is social media and its hidden risk or its hidden dangers. Before that, gusto ko lang i-share sa inyo na merong isang karinderya sa Cebu. It's one place in Cebu where kahit malayo ka pa doon sa karinderya, malayo ka pa doon, you're from a distance, maaamoy mo na yung rich aroma ng savory, juicy adobo. Napakabango niya magluto ng adobo mga kapatid, no? And the vendor of that karinderya, one time, na-meet ko siya, pumasok ako doon sa kanyang karinderya, and I said, ang bango ng amoy ngayon ah. Sabi ng isang nagbebenta ng adobo, anong amoy? Hindi niya alam yung amoy, no? Mga kapatid, she's no longer stunned by the sweet the smell or the aroma of the adobo because lagi niya na itong na-encounter day to day. Lagi niya itong nasi-smell that although even if it fills the entire place, it does not as if it does not exist anymore para sa kanya kasi nasanay na siya, no, sa amoy nito. Now, ang gusto ko lang sabihin dito mga kapatid, for that illustration is that the most obvious things in life, yung mga bagay na lagi nating na-encounter sa buhay, usually, those are the very least things that we question. Yun yung mga bagay na hindi na natin tinatanong, hindi natin kino-question. We do not think about these things. We just acknowledge that they are there, no? Pero hindi na natin siya pinag-uusapan. The same thing here dito sa social media. I believe that all of us are users of social media, no? Meron tayong mga Facebook account, Twitter, Instagram. Nabubuhay tayo ngayon sa digital world, sa social media. And it's important, no, before we begin this lesson, na malalaman muna natin, ano bang ibig sabihin ng social media? What does it mean? Ano bang point nito, no? What is social media? And what is its dangers, no? Yan yung una nating tatalakayin. But before that, no, may sinabi dito si Pablo na I believe ito yung text na paborito natin, no, because this is about Christian liberty. Sabi ni Pablo, all things daw are lawful, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be dominated by anything. So, ang Christian liberty talks about yung mga bagay na pwede nating gawin na hindi tayo nagkakasala. Hindi siya kinuman, hindi din siya pinrohibit ng Panginoon. Kaya, pwede nating gawin ito. For example, yung manonood tayo ng sine, no? If manood tayo ng cinema, hindi yan pinagbabawal ng Panginoon, no? So, pwede nating gawin yon. Hindi din siya kinuman, no? So, yung mga bagay na hindi niya inutos at hindi niya pinagbawal, pasok yun sa tinatawag natin na Christian liberty, no? Pero, sinabi ni Pablo, although all things are lawful, although there are things that are lawful na pwede mong gawin, Pero sinabi din ni Pablo, hindi lahat ng bagay na pwede ay nakakatulong, no? Hindi lahat ng bagay na lawful are helpful, especially if that thing dominates you. Alam natin si Charles Spurgeon na isang nagtatabako siya, right? The Prince of Preachers ng Baptist ay mahilig siyang magnigarilyo, no? Alam natin na lawful 'yun kasi hindi naman pinagbabawal sa Panginoon. But if one is dominated by it and he cannot control it anymore, that's the time that it becomes sinful. Well, the same thing dito sa social media. Sorry. Okay. Important to note, things not forbidden by the Bible are certainly lawful, but the Bible also made it clear that not every lawful thing is helpful. Now, let's talk about the social media world. Dito sa mundo ng social media, important to point out that Christians need to be aware, dapat ma-aware ang bawat Kristiyano about the potential dangers and risk of social media. So, para ang liberty natin, di ba, allowed naman tayo na gumamit ng social media. Ang mga kabataan natin, no, halos hindi yan nabubuhay na walang social media. Kahit ngayon, nakalagin yung mga Facebook nila, Instagram, and whatnot, right? Pero, as Christians, since may dangers itong social media, we need to be aware, no? So that we might be able to use our liberty wisely for the glory of God. Now, alam nyo ba mga kapatid, there are 2 books na nagbigay ng prediction. Ito yung dalawa sa pinakasikat na libro sa literature, no? In fact, nandun ito sa top 10 literatures, mga kapatid. Itong dalawang nobelang ito, both sila nag-predict kung anong mangyayari sa hinaharap. Nagbigay sila ng prediction, no? Ang isang libro si George Orwell, 1984, ang isa kay Aldous Huxley na Brave New World. Now, ganito yung prediction nila mga kapatid. According kay George Orwell, sa kanyang dystopian literature, pagdating daw ng araw, ang tyrant daw na mamumuno dito sa mundo, i-deprive daw tayo sa information. So kung for example, naniniwala tayo sa Antichrist, pagdating daw nung evil tyrant leader, i-deprive daw tayo sa information. Kumbaga, doon sa nobela nila mga kapatid, yung mga information tinatago sa kanila. Binabago yung mga words sa dictionary, tinatanggal yung history, kasi simbolo daw yun na ganun yung mangyayari sa hinaharap. Na mawawalan tayo ng information kaya hindi na natin alam yung katotohanan, no? We will not know the truth. Whereas si Huxley, mga kapatid, he disagrees with Orwell. Sabi ni Huxley sa Brave New World, no, it's not that tanggalan tayo ng information. Ang mangyayari daw sa hinaharap or in the future, we would be given so much information and so little time to process it. So may tinatawag na information abundance. Ang isa, information scarcity. So, i-check natin mamaya kung sino alin dito sa dalawa yung nagkakatotoo, no? Sabi ni George Orwell na mangyayari din daw sa hinaharap, the truth will be concealed from us. Itatago daw ang truth sa atin, yung katotohanan, yung information. Kay Huxley, no. The truth would be drowned in a sea of irrelevance. Magiging irrelevant na daw ang truth sa dami ng information na darating, sa daming mga truth. Lahat na may version na ng truth, no? So yung truth mo, parang one among the millions or trillions of information, no? Of all the truth claims. So magiging irrelevant ka na kung magkiklaim ka na ng absolute truth. Okay? Sabi ni Orwell, we would be a captive culture. Para tayo mga binilanggo, no? Yung kultura natin parang binilanggo. Sabi niya, we would become a trivial culture. Magiging culture tayo na magiging all the more shallow, all the more little to have critical thinking. Kasi little time to process informations. And sabi ni Orwell, ang darating na tyrant, imamaniobra niya ang sangkatauhan by inflicting pain. Kumbaga parang nung kina Hitler, no, sa time ni Hitler na sa prison camp na gumagamit sila ng dahas, yung pain, para makontrol niya yung lahat ng sangkatauhan. But for Huxley, sabi niya, no, it's not pain that they are going to use to control us. It will be pleasure. Pleasure ang gagamitin para ikaw ay makontrol. Kaya doon sa nobela ni Huxley, may ini-inject sila na parang pleasure, soma ang tawag nila. So pag meron silang distress, pleasure ang ini-inject. Pag meron silang desire for sex, pleasure ang i-inject. Mawawala na lahat. So parang ganun daw ang gagawin in the near future. So these observations and comparisons are from Neil Postman sa kanyang libro, Amusing Ourselves to Death. And I just brought it up to you sa inyo mga kapatid. No? So just give credit lang kay Neil Postman. Let me just go next. Sorry. There you go. I hope it functions well. So, here, welcome, brothers and sisters, to the world of digital social media, the digital world of social media. Now, ngayon, according sa mga statistics, dumarami na ang mga number of users, billions, no? In fact, sa late study na natingnan ko, na na-check ko, one-third of the population of the whole world uses social media, more than two-thirds actually, no? So ngayon, 5.24 billion, 2025 February ito na statistics, mga kapatid. And guess what? Nung tiningnan ito ng mga statisticians, nakikita yung ongoing increase of people who are using social media, no? Dumarami ang mga tao na gumagamit ng social media, even ang mga matatanda, right? Gumagamit ng social media. Hindi lang ito exclusive sa mga bata. According to American Psychological Association, social media daw, by definition, are forms of digital communication through which users create online communities to share information. Alam natin to, no? Ideas, personal messages, and other content. Kumbaga, tool siya sa communication. Now, wala namang masama sa tool ng communication, mga kapatid, no? Important to note that being a communicative tool, it is neither inherently harmful. Kagaya ng kutsilyo, right? It's a tool. Pero, hindi siya inherently harmful. It depends on our use. Kung gagamitin natin yung social media sa paghiwa ng mga bombay or mga anong recados, then it's a good one. The tool is useful. The tool is good. Pero kung gagamitin ang kutsilyo sa pagsaksak ng isang tao na may nabalak mong nakawan, that then becomes evil, right? So the same goes with social media. Social media is a tool, we can say, no, na ano siya, neutral. No? It depends on the users of social media. In fact, ang Bible ay gumagamit din ng tool, no? Kung titingnan natin, mga kapatid, ang communicative tool na ginagamit sa Bible, you have the scrolls, parchments, what else? Codex, di ba? And even the tablets of stones are used by God to communicate His word and His truth for all of us. That's in the ancient world. Now, going to the modern world, meron na tayong radyo, meron ng telepono, na-invent na, di ba? May TV, may television. There are lots of sources now of information in the modern world. But guess what, mga kapatid? Social media, there's a warning here, no? While we say that social media is a communicative tool, but brothers and sisters, ang social media is more than a communicative tool. It is a digital medium that can change the structures. Babaguhin niya yung struktura ng ating social relationship, and it changes our ways of thinking. May impact itong social media sa ating brain, no? And that's what we're going to discover later on, no? Pagdating natin sa neuroplasticity. So ang isang libro ni Nicholas Carr, which is The Shallows, page 31, sinabi niya, Our ways of thinking, yung paraan daw natin sa pag-iisip, perceiving, and acting, we now know, hindi siya determined daw ng ating genes. 'Di ba? Sometimes we thought na ano ka ba pagkabata mo? 'Di ba sa psychology ni Simon Freud, titingnan niya yung childhood experience mo, saan ka nagkaroon ng trauma, and then interpret your behavior now according to your previous experiences or even your genes, no? Titingnan nila. Now, sabi dito ni Nicholas Carr, nor are they determined by our childhood experience. Hindi daw yung genes, sabi niya. Wala daw yung causal relationship. They just say correlational, no? So, sabi niya, we change them through the way we live and through the tools that we use. Interesting take itong sinabi ni Nicholas Carr, mga kapatid. Now, let's look at this. Ang human brain natin, as it keeps on interacting with social media, with our mobile phones, here's what happened. Nagkakaroon tayo ng erosion of contemplation and concentration. What does that mean? When you come across with your news feed, 'di ba, always ginagawa natin, either nag-doom scroll tayo, we're just scrolling and scrolling kahit alas 3, alas 4, alas 5, nasya ka na lang, 2 oras nang kinain sa ko. Scroll ako panonood ng mga ni Diskaya or yung mga nakita natin mga article ni Joel Joel Secretary Joel, no? So scroll tayo, mga kapatid, no? And guess what? Yung pag-scroll natin even sa mga irrelevant posts and pictures, parang tinitrain yung brain natin, mga kapatid, na masanay magproseso sa fast-moving, swift information sa screen natin, di ba? Fast. So, ang brain mo, if you're going to do that all the time, masasanay yung brain mo sa pag-process sa mga shallow na mga bagay. Mai-erode yung pag-contemplate mo in a critical manner. Kaya nai-erode yung concentration, contemplation, kasi sanay na yung utak mo na scroll na ulit. Kaya magbabasa ng libro, yung mga addict sa social media, mga kapatid, bigyan mo ng isang libro na nobela or isang libro na philosophical book, hindi yan makakatapos. Bakit? Because those books require contemplation. Those books require concentration. And because their brain is trained otherwise, mahihirapan sila. So, parang nag-create tayo ng mga generations that are shallow according dito. So, nai-erode yung ating concentration, contemplation, right? Ano pa man nangyayari? As we keep on interacting with those information we see in our phone, social media, ang mangyayari, mga kapatid, kita mo itong vessel of water na nag-overflow yung water, ganyan ang mangyayari sa atin. So in other words, magkakaroon tayo ng difficulty of synthesizing one information or one understanding to another. Hindi natin nasi-synthesize. Bakit? Because yung kasama, yung relationship ng information na natanggap natin, nag-overload siya So nawala siya. It fades from our memories and even from our intellect. Kaya nahihirapan tayong i-synthesize yung other information kasi nag-overflow, hindi siya nare-retain. Ganyan ang mangyayari kung so much information is given to us. We thought na, wow, we have the monopoly of information. We can question everyone. We are more intelligent than those people from previous generations. Well, absolutely not, brothers and sisters. So yun yung impact, no? At another impact, mananam na yung natural capacity mo, no? So this is getting problematic because it damages us one way or another, mga kapatid. Natitrain na yung utak mo, natitrain na yung mga mental capacities mo for things that they were not designed for from the get-go. Ganun po yung mangyayari. So, have you observed? Before the advent of social media, nung wala pang mga social media, wala pang mga technologies, wala pang mga mobile games and whatnot, right? Ang mga bata before, makikita mo, naglalaro sila ng buwan-buwan, tago-taguan, di ba? And they have this social relationship na napakagandang tingnan. Kaya ang mga bata na sa age before the social media, yung ano nila, yung pagkikipag-socialize nila, napaka-healthy, no? Compare sa mga kabataan ngayon, no? Makikita mo nung technology before is television pa lang, di ba? Ang mga kabataan before, ang pamilya, mag-gather yan sa isang sofa. Mag-usap-usap, magtawanan together. So they have their bond of relationship, right? Na na-observe natin, no? Alam natin yung mga magulang dito siguro, no? Alam ninyo na ganito yung nangyayari before, no? Pero ngayon, sa time ngayon, ganito na nangyayari, no? Meron na siyang, sorry. Tingnan nyo na, ano nangyari now? Either nandun na sa loob ng kwarto, tapos pag tinawag ng magulang, halika na dito, kakain na tayo, mag-usap muna tayo. Can you give me some space? I need space, di ba? Gusto na natin mapag-isa. Ayaw na natin na parang dinidisturb tayo. Gusto natin mag-stay sa kwarto. Or may ginagawa ako. May inaano ako, di ba? Especially ngayon, mas all the more pa siya na nati-trigger. Kasi ang mga work ngayon, parang work from home na dapat technology din, di ba? So, ganun yung nangyayari sa ating panahon ngayon. And there's nothing we can do to change this social reality that we are in, no? We are already swimming into this water. So, there's something that we can do about it. Ang gusto ko lang iparating dito is that God desires that we should not substitute the authentic life with the digital life. Because a lot of people tend to replace the authentic life from the digital life. Sa Zoom, digital na lang, di ba? Dito na lang natin gagawin, digital. Hindi na uso ang meetup ngayon actually, no? Very little. Sana maraming mga meetup physical na nangyayari. Pero sa ngayon, sa mundo ngayon, most of the meetings are done Zoom or sa Messenger na lang, chat na lang, di ba? Hindi na siya yung mga physical na Parang it alters the original design of ours, how we socialize with other people, right? So, and to the point na mga tao ngayon, no, they tend to create an avatar. Parang gumagawa na sila ng, for example, sa social media. Pansin nyo ba na may mga tao na ang tapang-tapang sa social media? Parang meron siyang certain image, no, sa social media. Pero pag nakausap mo siya in person, parang iba naman siya sa totoong buhay. Pansin mo yon? Kasi we tend to craft a certain image of ourselves on social media. We want to project it to other people that I am like this. This is the best version of me. And even, in fact, ang mga pictures na pinopost natin sa social media, sa dami ng shot one angle, di ba? Anong ipopost natin? Yung pangit? Hindi. Out sa 100, mga 2 lang ipopost natin. Because we tend to look at the best version of ourselves. And that best version of ourselves, that's the version that we want people to see. Right? And therefore, we're creating a certain image on social media. But God doesn't want it. God wants the authentic life. At dapat yan yung ating sa ating sarili, i-practice. Now, many research now, as I have observed, mga kapatid, no, ang relationship sa social media at itong dopamine. Alam ba natin, mga kapatid, you can Google it right now, no? Makikita nyo yung relation sa dopamine. Marami nang sumusulat about it. Because the more ka nag-i-interact sa social media, the more you get to interact with it, mga kapatid, nagbibigayan siya ng dopamine or certain pleasure sa brain mo. Ganyan yung dopamine, di ba? Ang dopamine, yan yung parang pleasure na nasa utak ng isang addicted na tao, either sa sugal, pornography, and whatnot. That's actually present in social media, mga kapatid. Yung exact pleasure, yung dopamine na yan. Now, ngayon, ang dopamine works like this. Once nag-interact ka, may nag-like sa'yo, may nag-appreciate sa picture mo, either sexy or not, it gives pleasure to you. And how it works is that it will push you to seek more pleasures than what you already have. Kumbaga, bibigyan ka niya ng thirst for more pleasure than what you already have. Na mas greater pleasure. Kaya napapansin mo, if may nagpo-post either sa Instagram ng sexy picture, hindi pa masyadong sexy ha. Pag marami yung likers, mapapansin mo na yan, magpo-post na yan ng mas sexier pa. Right? Because he will gain more likes. He will gain more approval from the mob of the social media, mga kapatid, no? And it gives pleasure. Nagbibigay siya ng dopamine, mga kapatid. In other words, social media, as far as its creation is concerned, is built for addiction. Yan yung mga maker ng social media. Yan yung target nila sa social media. Alright? Next. Is that changing? Can you change it, brother? There you go. So, according to Brett McCracken, most people in history daw, ito yung isa sa recent book na nabasa ko on social media. Sabi niya, most people in history lived with scarcity. Dati, napakalimitado ng mga informations, right? Limited access to the foods, substances, and experiences that release dopamine in the brain. But now, nabubuhay na tayo ngayon sa era, mga kapatid, no? In which there is an abundance of pleasure that you can get everywhere. Our brains, sabi niya dito, were not trained to live in such a world. In a world filled with pleasure. Hindi ito ang mundo, hindi ito ang type ng world na dinisenyo ng Diyos para sa atin, no? And according to the creator of the likes button sa Facebook, na nagbibigay isa sa cost ng dopamine, sabi niya, the main intention I had was to make positivity the path of least resistance. Inimbento niya daw yung like button para ma-spread positivity. Pero ang nagresulta daw, it result to large unintended negative side effects. Kasi mga kapatid, yung libro na Happy Effect, yung book na yon, pinakita how people get emotionally disturbed and hunger for likes, mga kapatid. Yung sinulat ni Frietas, will research yun na libro. Kaya may impact even yung mga like buttons na nakikita mo sa Facebook. Well, why am I telling this? Because these things are something that we thought to be normal and has little to no impact to us where in fact it really has an impact and it has a negative effect. Para tayo, upon being warned, we can do it in moderation, right? So I hope maging helpful itong lecture. So, how the creator of social media operates or engineered for people to be addicted with it. Unpredictable rewards. Social validation. Naging avenue siya for social validation, di ba? For example, if you are a rebel sa isang iglesia, nobody approves you here, nobody validates you here. But in social media, I can get a lot of people who validates me, who likes me, right? And that's what social media provides. Social competitions. Aba, ginawa niya dito, gagawin ko din ito, no? Nagkakaroon ng mga social reciprocal liking. Nilike niya yung pictures ko. Likers ko yan. Si brother, ilalike ko din siya. Kasi nilalike niya ako eh. May friend nga ako dati na may in-unfriend siya sa Facebook. Ba't mo in-unfriend? Wala. Hindi niya ako nilalike. Ako like ng like sa kanya. So, kaya yung ginagawa sa social media, mga kapatid, no? Reciprocal liking. And in fact, even yung mga bite-size, pansin mo yon, yung mga reels ngayon, no? Bite-size, napaka-short lang, di ba? Pero napapansin, mga kapatid, switch ka ng reels, no? Kasi pag na-enjoy ka sa short clip, yung brain mo, nag-ano ng dopamine, na-enjoy na. Then because ang brain natin na nag-release ng dopamine, mga kapatid, will push you to get more pleasure from it. So, Switch ka na naman ng ibang reels na nag-i-enjoy ng mga comedies. Right? But all of these are designed or engineered for addiction. So I hope that makes sense, mga kapatid, no? Next. All right. So the point that we're trying to get across here, at the heart of the creation of social media is the goal to stimulate users to release dopamine in their brain, making them enslaved by the pleasure it provides. Right? So sa dalawang propesiya na binigay natin kanina sa libro ni George Orwell 1984 and Aldous Huxley's The Brave New World, it seems to me, it seems to us, right, na ang nagkakatotoo na propesiya yung kay Aldous Huxley. We're living in a world of pleasure. Next. So anong other dangers on social media? The algorithm problem, right? We know this. It constantly surveys your activity and bombards you with the thing that you like. So minsan may time na may nakita ako doon sa newsfeed ko na walang mura ng Sanda watch, 800 lang. Kinlik ko. Pagtingin ko next newsfeed ko, puro na mga Casio, Timex. Kasi in-observe nila, gusto mo pala to i-feed kita ng maraming ganito. No? And the danger is that if ang isang bata, tinitrain at a very young age to do social media, alam natin ang social media, meron yung mga nude or mga kabastusan. No? What if ang isang bata, maklik niya yung isang bastos na content? Then the algorithm will just give something like that. So medyo delikado, no? So I hope parang hindi naman siguro ginagawa ng Facebook, no, or other pero I hope hindi yan nangyayari. Ma-expose sa mga hate-based content, it will lead to its normalization. Sa social media, ang dali lang maging matapang, sa totoo lang, no? Lahat ng mga kabataan doon na napakahinhin sa tunay na buhay, pagdating sa social media, ang tapang-tapang. Ang napaka-aggressive na mga post nila because they come across post like that na parang normal lang, no? Hindi yung confrontations. So, hate-based content, masanay tayo dyan. Sexual predators, no? Marami sa social media, yung mga anak natin, we have to be very, very careful. Kasi kung may mga sexual predators dito na ijowa-jowa sila, pero at the end of the day, i-take advantage lang sila. Pornography and sensuality, no? Many people speak less about pornography when pornography is one of the most dangerous, accessible poison na nag-exist sa mundo natin ito. Right now, pornography is accessible everywhere. And even in social media, ang dali mo makakita dyan ng mga pornographies, even mga videos sa mga reels available. And worst, social media becomes an outlet for gossiping and slandering. May nakikitang against sa kanilang ama, pinapublish sa social media, no? May nakikitang negative sa nangyari sa church, post it on social media para pagpiestahan ng mga tao, right? Instead of talking to the person that they're against with, they talk with people in social media. Ganitong ginawa ng pastor namin, ganito ang Brother Jess, ganito ang ginawa ni Brother Jimwell, no? So, it's not helpful. And it eliminates the value of confrontation personally. Making self-fabricated character. Marami dito mga kapatid, gumagawa ng sariling avatar on social media. Right? And social media, alcohol, pornography, gambling, lahat sila ay under the control of one master, and that is pleasure, mga kapatid. Whatever operates in addiction in alcohol, social media, pornography, gambling, it's only one. Pleasure. Nagbibigay siya ng kasiyahan, no? That makes one very addictive. Sabi dito ni Brett McCracken, when you live in a society awash with dopamine factories, social media pornography, gaming, high-calorie foods, alcohol, online, gambling, you face a constant pathological temptation to press the seesaw on the pleasure side. Pero mga kapatid, ang social media, nag-o-offer sa atin ng pleasure, right? It wants us to indulge in pleasure. Ito yung magbibigay ng joy sa buhay mo. Itong social media, itong mga other stuff na ino-offer ng technology. But guess what, mga kapatid? As soon as you get addicted to it, as soon as you seek pleasure dun sa mga bagay na yon, marirealize mo that you still are empty. Why? Because hindi itong mga bagay na ito, hindi itong mga basurang ito, no? Ang kayang mag-satisfy sa puso natin. Sabi dito sa Psalm 16:11, "You make known to me the path of life. In your presence, sa Diyos, there is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures evermore." Nawa maintindihan natin at ma-realize natin kung naghahanap tayo ng pagkauhaw or pleasure sa puso natin, sa Diyos lang natin ito makikita at mahahanap, mga kapatid. So, the heart and soul of social media is to take us to amusement. Dinadala tayo sa amusement park that either endangers us or distract us, and it potentially exposes us to many harmful experience. So, sabi ko kanina, social media has its own benefits. Maraming benepisyo ang social media if it is used correctly. So ngayon, paano ba natin dapat gamitin ang social media? What are the things that we need to consider while using social media? No? So paano siya? Kasi we cannot get away from, just like a water that can't get away from, just like a fish that can't get away from the water. Parang naging ganun na tayo sa mundo eh. Mga work from homes, marami na. Everything is powered and we are living in a digital world. So paano ba? So you should live as light of the world. Christ said, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. So let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." Important to note here, know your identity. Hindi ka yung self-customized digital character that people see on social media. First and foremost, your true identity is in Christ. And your purpose, your existence comes with a purpose. To witness, to be a witness of the gospel in this dark and sinful world. Yan po yung purpose natin. Bawat Kristiyano na nandirito. And I was thanking God so much. Because through the social media, there's one testimony that I have. There's one person that I haven't chatted always. He's just following my social media. And all the sudden, this guy, while following the content of my posts and everything, he became a reformed Christian by just reading and also following those people who are my friends na Christians din. Nagamit ang social media. Ngayon, ang lalim na niya sa theology. He spoke with other people like Pastor Joseph Bangahas, pero di niya alam na yun yung tinutukoy ko, no? And other Christians that are here in the Philippines by just watching the content of social media. So, as a light of the world, pwede natin magamit din yung social media as a witness, no? As tools or medium for gospel sharing. And thankfully, praise God, ginagawa ng church natin yun, na meron tayong mga content, meron tayong mga videos sa mga Bible class and even sermons to share to the world. God designs the light of the believers to permeate every area. Na mag-saturate itong light ng believer sa every area ng ating engagement, no? Whether in the church or family. Bakit? Mahirap yun, no? Kung Christian tayo sa church lang. When we're in the church, we're Christians, but in the workplace, you are a horse of a different color. Mahirap yun, mga kapatid, no? Na hindi ka ma-recognize na Christian. Family. Does your relatives know that you're a Christian? If you're a Christian, they ought to know. It should permeate every aspect of your life. And the same is true in the world of social media. Dapat din, you're a Christian. You behave like a Christian on social media because you're the light of the world. So, there's a call to limit our use of social media for information sharing. So, if gusto mo mas all the more sanctified, gamitin mo yung social media if there's important information you want to share, right? Rather than amusement indulgence. Huwag natin gamitin yung social media para sa walang masama naman, no? I-amuse natin ang sarili natin at sometimes, no? Pero hindi yung indulgence, no? Huwag nating i-indulge ang sarili natin todo sa pleasure sa social media. Kasi sometimes, no, naubos yung time natin sa YouTube. Kakapanood doon sa social media na yan, no? Not just in Facebook. So, we need to know how to control. No? Mahalaga ito. At in fact, gift ito ng Spirit sa atin, itong self-control. No? Sabi ng Proverbs 25:28, a man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. So parang tayong gano'n, no? Inatake tayo ng mga kalaban ng ibang imperyo, sira yung walls natin We're left vulnerable, right? So crucial evaluation, mga kapatid, para sa atin. Whenever, kung darating ka sa point ng buhay mo that you are caught in mindlessly scrolling short videos and entertainment on social media, you have to stop. Stop and realize what is wrong with you. Why am I spending my time here scrolling and scrolling for nothing? Kasi sometimes para tayong mindlessly, no? Hala, 3 oras na. Naubos na yung time natin. Kaya helpful din ang sinabi ng misis ko sa akin, pag manood ka ng Netflix, tandaan mo to, Jessa, pag manood ka ng Netflix, huwag kang manood ng series. Sabi ko, bakit naman? Kasi mahuhook ka niyan at mahuubos ang oras mo sa panonood ng series. Kaya from that day on, ang pinapanood ko na lang yung mga wala namang, hindi naman siya morally sinful. Manood ka ng series, mga kapatid, no? Pero it is better na if you value your time and you have a lot of things to do, try not to watch series, no? Kasi ka dyan talaga, mahook ka. Kasi lalagyan nila talaga yan ng cliffhanger sa panghuli. Kaya makikurious ka, ano kayong susunod, no? So parang ganun siya, naka-built-in din siya sa pleasure, curiosity, mga kapatid. Point, God gifted us by the Spirit the fruit of self-control to resist this pleasure-indulging media. So hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na, Brother Jess, di ko mapigilan nahadik talaga ako No, you have the Spirit and the Spirit gives you the gift of self-control. Kaya kayang sabihin ni Pablo, I can do all things through Christ which strengthened me. Kasi niligtas tayo ng Panginoon. He's given us a gift of the Spirit. Galatians 5:20-23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace. Yep, that's what I said. So, number 2, a call to normalize face-to-face more than virtual interaction. Walang masama sa virtual interaction, mga kapatid. But we sanayin natin na ang ating pakikipag-relate sa isa't isa ay face-to-face. Kasi yan yung original na design ng Panginoon sa atin, how we interact with each other. May verses ba yan sa Bible, Brother Jess? Actually, yes. Sabi ng 2 John 1:12, sabi ni Pablo, though I have so much to write to you through social media, hindi pa social media nung time na yon, letter pa, no? Yan pa yung mode of communication nila, medium of communication. Though I have so much to write to you, I would rather not use social media, paper or ink. Anong sabi ni Pablo? Instead, I hope, sabi niya, to come to you and to talk face to face. Why? Why, Paul? Anong meron sa face to face? So that your joy may be complete. So, important to note, no? The Apostle John Apostle John is not contented to have non-physical interaction. The point is to limit our communication on social media is to divest us the true joy of physical fellowship. May joy na dinisenyo ang Panginoon, mga kapatid, sa face-to-face interaction. So don't be contented kung may mga relatives ka. Don't be contented na, ay ano lang kita sa social media, i-chat lang kita. Yung mga mama mo, lola mo, puntahan mo mga kapatid. No? Bisitahin nyo sila. Kasi iba pa din yung joy na dinisenyo ng Panginoon sa physical interaction. Meron namang video call eh. Akala natin yung video call nagbibigay ng complete joy. Iba pa din mga kapatid. Itong physical. I think na-push ko siya doon sa We're almost done here. Okay. Next. Alright? And a call to value our precious time. Mga kapatid, no? Sabi ng Ephesians, itong panawagan to value our precious time. Sabi niya, look carefully, sabi ni Paul, how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise. What does it mean to be wise, Apostle Paul? Making the best use of our time because the days are evil. So tinuturuan tayo ni Pablo, no? The days are evil. It's going worse and worse and evil because of sin, because of people who are depraved, no? So gamitin natin ng maayos, no? Ang oras natin para sa kaharian ng Panginoon. So ask yourself question, am I using my time wisely? Maganda yun na iasa sarili natin, no? Kasi kung ilang oras tayo nag-spend sa social media, iniisip natin, wait, ilang oras ako scroll dito, nanonood ng mga videos, Netflix and YouTube. Wait, nakapag-spend time ba ako na kumustahin si Lola, si Mama, si Papa? Na bigyan ko ba sila ng information about sa pag-aaral ko ngayon? Diba? Sometimes you spend less time with them. And your parents need you. Your parents love you. They want to have fellowship with you. So, balansahin natin yung ating time. The church, merong mga activities, no? This is the kingdom of the King and you are member of this kingdom. Ano bang mga activities sa church ngayon? Meron ba mga singles? Meron ba mga diba? So, instead na gamitin mo yun sa mga bagay na hindi siya useful, you can use it for this. Magti-take part ako doon kahit mag-assist na lang ako doon, pupunta ako sa church, right? Or, baka meron pa ako mga assignments na kailangan kong i-pass. Kami ni Brad Robin, dami naming assignments sa GMA, no? Kaya control din ako sa social media, mga kapatid, no? So, ganun, dapat, no? Ask yourself that question. Sorry. Social media robs us a huge chunk of our time that should have been spent for our family, for our service to God, for ministries, and for worthwhile endeavors. God intends, imagine this, napakahalaga nito mga kapatid, God intends to make our life fleeting. Hindi tayo forever mag-exist dito sa mundo, right? There will be a time na mamamatay tayo. But as to when, we don't know, right? Only God knows when. So, God intends to make our life fleeting, temporary, passing, so we may wisely use it for what is worthwhile. Baka masyak na lang tayo na yung mga parents natin kinuha na ni Lord, no? Kung tayo mga kabataan. Oh no, I should have spent time for my dad. Sana nabigyan ko siya ng panahon na ibinigay ko sa kanya. Di ba? Masasayang yung oras natin. Sana in-spend ko ito para sa church, para sa kinuha ka na ng Panginoon. So, hindi siya wise, no? So, lastly, a call to discernment. Mag-ingat tayo because keep your heart with all vigilance kasi dito sa social media, nandito nag-i-exist itong mga either scammer, identity thief, na nakawin yung identity. Accept ng mga friends, no, mga kapatid, no? Pero kinopya pala yung pictures mo, mga videos mo, pati lahat-lahat, and then they will identify as you, nanakaw na yung identity mo, no? So be careful sa pag-add, accept as friend. Kaya ako, nang mga ina-accept ko din, yung mga may mutual friends lang na mga 200, 300. Pwede na yon. Merong mga scammer. Maraming nabibiktima sa social media nito. At sexual predator. No? Makikipagrelasyon daw ang kano sa papakilala na ganito. Tapos, since a child in a very young age, madali lang siyang lokohin. Yung mga sensual nila na mga tinatakot na siya na ipopost. And then you have to give me this and that. So, delikado yon. So, parents should also monitor your kids, no? Our kids, kasi kasama din ako, no? Monitor natin. Although di pa nag-social media si Levi. I hope hindi mangyari pa. So, and lastly pala, a call to share truthful information. Huwag tayo basta-basta mga kapatid mag-post ng mga fake news. Kasi truth bearers tayo mga kapatid, no? Tayo nagdadala, we are preaching, teaching, sharing the truth, no? So kung may mga information doon na hindi pa verified ng mga sources, wag mong i-share, no? Kasi baka na you are just spreading lies or wrong misinformation at kasalanan yan sa 10 Commandments. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. So, verify. Is it true or not true? Before you pass information to others, make sure you have verified that it is factual and objective. Point, God intends that we get wisdom from scriptures to govern our life. Ito yung pinakapunto sa lahat. Binigyan niya tayo ng wisdom sa scripture para gamitin natin itong mga wisdom to govern our life even in its online presence. So, use social media to propagate the gospel of Christ. Make social media as a peripheral. Hindi mo siya gawing essential sa buhay mo, but peripheral lang. Yung pwedeng wala. Parang accessories, no, of your existence. Hindi mo siya gawing mundo to inhabit in. Okay? Okay. Ito, last na lang to kapatid. Many industries are now centered around the internet sa sulat ni Samuel James sa Digital Liturgies. These jobs require constant access to email, video conferencing, file hosting, social media, and more. In the 21st century, it is perfectly plausible that a typically employed person would spend most of his workday online, spend most of his break catching up on social media or listening to a podcast. Parang, ang gustong sabihin nito ni Samuel James, nabubuhay tayo sa mundo, even yung sa mga workplace, mga trabaho natin, more on social media na, right? Included na yung mga sa social media. Part na yun ng trabaho ng ilan sa atin, marami. Now, imagine, for the next 20 or 30 years, I believe, dadami yung ganyang work, mga kapatid. No? Dadami hindi yan masama, walang masama doon mga kapatid. Pero ito ang punto na gusto kong sabihin. Now, kung lahat sa atin, ang work natin is related na sa social media, 8 hours tayo mag-work. Plus, pag uwi mo sa bahay, nagso-social media ka, nag-aano ka sa mga pleasures dito, buong buhay mo kakainin na sa tinatawag natin na digital. Now, if you're not going to minimize it today, if you're not going to be tame, ngayon pa lang na hindi pa tayo nag-reach doon sa mga years na yon, mahirap na, hindi ka na makokontrol in the future. No? So, nakakatakot yun. And God cares. To end, God cares for the people whom He came and died for. Pinuntahan tayo ng Panginoon. He died for us. So therefore, He cared for us. He desires that we will live out the biblical principles so we may live authentically and be guided in our use of social media. I think that ends for this Bible class. And yeah, we're gonna open the floor for question and answer, mga kapatid. So if you have some realizations, you have some questions or additional input, feel free. You can raise your hand. All right.
Bro, thanks. Hello. Thanks sa Bible class. Siguro isang magandang reminder din na yung mga social media are businesses. And they actually spent billions of dollars para sa studies ng psychology, paano makakakuha ng more time to the users. So, isipin natin yon na hindi talaga nila ito dinesign for the society's benefit but for money because
Right.
this is business. And kagaya nung ano mo na share this morning, actually sobrang dami ng ganitong klaseng warnings sa social media and hindi naman natin nakikita talaga na nagkakos siya ng malaking impact para mabawasan yung social media consumption natin. So meaning talagang addictive na siya. So if we want to kumbaga yung key talaga ngayon is moderation, and right now it requires a very very strong will
Yeah.
para lang ma-moderate natin yung sarili natin to this. So I think that's what we should be praying for.
Thank you very much, brother. I think that's a very helpful comment. Totoo yun, no? Companies are spending billions and billions para akitin ang mga nasa social media for their products and whatnot. And guess what? Dahil sa sobrang dami ng entertainment na binibigay ng mundo ng digital, no? Even ang makikinig sa sermon na 1 oras, nakakapagod. Right? Maraming mga ano na parang ang hirap na ng mga kabataan ngayon magstay, 'di ba? Minsan natutulog nga tayo, yung mga kabataan pa nga natutulog na. Mga matatanda okay lang 'yun, no? Kasi they have nagdedecay na din yung kanilang yung kanilang health kaya madali silang mapagod. Pero even mga kabataan inaantok na sa mga sermon. Why? Because ang brain nila hindi nasanay sa walang entertainment, no? Nakakapagod. Kaya maganda sa na-understand na ano ko kay Jem ngayon, no? Maganda na i-value natin to. For example, may mga conference tayo sa mga youth. Puntahan natin, no? Hindi tayo dapat ma-over doon sa social media. Doon tayo sa mga physical. If may mga gathering, may mga church activities, let us all be present, no? And because in this way, we can truly realize our humanity. Kasi social being, communal beings tayo mga kapatid. We are designed for physical interaction. So salamat bro. Baka meron pang iba. Sige, Gino.
May time pa po ba for 2 questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay po. First question po na, yung isa pong takeaway ko dito sa lesson natin is yung talagang kailangan matrain yung not just the young generation but all Christians,
Right.
no, in mindfully using the social media. Kasi at the end of the day, social media is mainly just a tool na information. And ang pinakakailangan talaga is matrain yung mga tao na mag-handle what is the right to consume and what is the right information to disregard.
Yeah.
Parang naisip ko po kasi yung social media kasi hindi na natin siya ma-avoid.
Yeah.
It's become part of our lives. Like even sa work, especially kunwari yung batch ko po sa college, part po ako ng batch na nag-pandemic. So yung classes namin, wala nang face-to-face interaction. Like for the first 2 years ng college namin, purely social media yung ginagamit namin. So the way is, talagang kailangan magamit natin yung discernment, matrain. Tsaka sinashare ko rin po to kasi personally, I grew up in a household na hindi po ako nabigyan ng cellphone at an early age hanggang high school. And ang nangyari, talagang literal po kahit physical, hindi rin ako lumalabas to join with my friends. And ang nangyari, dun sa kinalakihan ko, yung mind ko sobrang sheltered. So when it comes to nung na-expose na ako sa social media, ang naging problem ko is how do I handle information or how do I search for the right information? Halos lahat ng kabatch ko, classmates ko, alam nila kung paano gumamit ng SOCMED. Pero ako, nadala ako ng mga brain rot reels, yung mga hindi nakakatulong sa akin. So, ang point ko po basically is siguro maganda na yung mga children, instead of purely of separating them from social media, train them how to use it well. Yan.
That's true, no? Kasi kawawa din ang mga bata, for example, if paglaki nila, wala social media, ibubuli sila. Taga saan ka ba? Taga bundok. So kawawa, it damages the emotional aspect din ng bata. So yung social media, no, pwede nating turuan, no, ang mga bata paano siya gamitin. Kaya nga sinabi ko din dito earlier, no, na we use social media for information sharing. Gamitin natin siya sa mga ganong bagay, no. Kung merong mga bata na nag-social media, dapat controlled siya ng mga magulang and monitored, no. May role ang mga magulang dito. Tayo namang mga matatanda na, no, we should be responsible for ourselves, knowing that we know the truth and kilala natin yung sarili natin. Para sa akin, mag-grow ang ating pag-mortify sa pleasure dito sa mundo as we attend ourselves to the means of grace ng Diyos dito sa atin sa church and more interaction with the brethren, closeness, no, na i-aspire to one another para maka-find tayo ng joy socially with one another. But thank you, Gino. You have one more question? Go ahead.
Isa parang insight pala yung kanina yun. Ito po question na talaga. Should Christians be vocal in social media when it comes to social issues, basically? So, for example, isa po sa mga nag-pinoint out sa akin ng mga kabatch ko ay, Gino, nag-share ka ng posts about Charlie Kirk, pero hindi ka nag-share ng posts about what's happening in the nation, about what's happening in our politics, yung flood control. parang nagkaroon na kayo ng tinatawag na selective empathy na ang sinashare nyo na lang ay puro about religion or what concerns you, but you're not really taking a stand when it comes to what's really happening in the nation. So, how do I practice yung pagiging salt and light sa social media in terms of what's happening in the society?
That's a very good question, no? And us who are holding the eschatological view of Amil, no? Parang sinasabi, no, parang wala daw tayong desire for sa mga social issues na nangyayari. I believe, no, mayroon tayong role at kailangan natin magsalita if there are some injustices and corruption sa mundo. But it's not for them to judge. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng hindi naman the reason nga na kinreate tayo na time-bound being tayo ng Diyos na meron lang certain area na kaya nating malaman. Kasi we are not God did not intend us to know all the information of all the world. Pero nangyari kasi yun dahil sa social media na alam na natin. Pero hindi natin kayang i-process yun lahat. Imagine mo, mag-drum scroll ka ng mga issues, mga problema na nangyari sa iba't ibang bansa, magkukos yun ng tremendous depression sa'yo. Pag magsasalita ako about this issue and other issues. But anything relative sa yung country, may direct ka na influence na nakakatulong ka, you can speak. I believe it's not wrong to speak with about social issues. Pero we speak, you have to speak it in a manner like a Christian, no? Hindi yung hindi ka pa naman kompleto yung yung information mo, ginajudge mo na si politika ganito, ganon. So, yun, maging responsible din tayo on how to say something on social media. Okay? So, I think that will be good na. Meron pa ba? Okay na? Sige, si 10:04 na pala. So, let's pray to the Lord. Our Father in Heaven, Lord, thank you, Panginoon, sa araw na ito na pinagkaloob mo sa amin. Sa lesson din sa social media, bawat isa sa amin, Panginoon, ay guilty sa pag-indulge namin sa social media. Pero salamat na ang iyong salita ay makapangyarihan at may wisdom, Lord, na maggabay sa iyong bayan kung paano namin i-navigate ito, paano mabuhay bilang Kristiyano sa online, Panginoon. At may you continue to bless us, continue to sanctify us and mortify all those sins, Panginoon. At may you prepare also our hearts later for our service. Thank you for all this, Lord, and may your name be glorified in Jesus' name. Amen.